Alright, and we're back. Welcome back to yet another bit of Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate Takeaway with Ristretto. When we last left off, we had farmed up some Monoblos parts to finish our new status set, which we're making for some dual blades. And I think we got the last piece we needed, so we can actually start putting together the set now. Take a look here. There we go. Mono Van Braces X. We can indeed make those. Which means we should be able to see what the full set's going to look like, which is pretty exciting to me. I always like this moment when you get all the pieces together. You've kind of crafted the set, get all the pieces together. This is also usually the moment where if I've made the set wrong, if I've made some sort of fatal error and like chosen like, oh, the mono devil piece instead of the mono piece. This is where I realize that fatal error and go, oh man. Hopefully that is not the case this time. I don't think it is, but you never know. Okay, mono van braces. So here's what this set's gonna look like. I was also just thinking to myself, what happens if we change this all to be like white? Ooh, it's kind of cool to match the white insect glaive dual blade. You can see those dual blades. There's one that's kind of a pink and there's one that's kind of a red. I think the red probably goes to the set more than the white does, but the white's pretty interesting. We could do one of each. Let's change them all to red first. Make it an appropriately dark red here. That dual blade is pretty dark red. Very dark red, actually. There we go. What if we could make the chest more of like a light? Ooh, it almost matches the Io Prey then. Let's try and make it match that Io Prey in terms of the color of red that Io Prey chest is. Like that. So sort of a gradient going on. That's kind of cool. I can get down with that. Probably make the little feather in the Io Prey cap that same sort of white. There, like that. I like that. And then what about the arms and legs? I don't know if they really change color all that much. I don't think they do. I think they have little tassels. Let me see here. I don't even see anything changing color on those arms. It's probably up inside the armor and we can't see it. So the arms effectively don't matter. That's too bad. We'll just make them red, just in case. You see some corner of them clipping out. Now the legs, I feel like we should be able to see. There's like a little fringe down there that like if we make it like neon green, yeah, there it is. There's the little fringe. Let's make those white as well. A little bit of that red-white color sticking out down there. Cool. I think I dig that. A little bit of variety. We can also always make that chest a little more red if we need to, but I like this. All right, what was the charm for this piece? Let's see. The charm we were supposed to use is we can use a sharpness 6 2 slot, or we can use the free element 4 3 slot. One of them is having us get some crit status jewels, expert jewels, and razor jewels, whereas the other one is having us get crit status, disabler, expert razor, and true catalyst. I think the first one sounds simpler. Let's go with that. So that's gonna be the free element 4 3 slot charm. Free elements. I think the last skill actually in the whole list. So down to the very bottom we go. Yeah, there it is. Free element 4 3 slot. There we go. Okay. And then we can start slotting in some decorations. Crit status, expert, razor jewel 1 × 6, razor jewel 3 × 1. Oh my goodness. Probably have some of these just in armor pieces. But let's see if we can make some of the other ones. I don't think I have much in the way of expert gems or crit status gems. We just need one crit status gem, which is good. And I feel like expert gems, I guess we don't really need that many of those for the set either, which is nice. Alright, expert. I've got to have expert ones, right? I've got to have at least one. Or no, that's an expert jewel 2. Never mind, we're good. I need an expert jewel 3, which I don't think I have any of, but we can make one. That's good. And I just need one expert jewel 1, which apparently I don't have in the box. Alright, well. Easy enough. I don't know about the razor jewels. Let's find out crit status jewel, though. Crit status. There we go. Crit status jewel 2, 1. Need some Solar Spikes, some Chameleos parts. Nice. So we probably just got the ability to make this. let's start putting some of those in. So a crit status jewel 2 times 1 we can put into our weapon, I think. All right. Put some expert jewel 1s in here, or one of the expert jewel 1s at least. Okay. Now where are our 3 slot pieces? There's one. Put the expert jewel in there. All right, let's see what that gives us. What do we have active so far? Crit Eye 2, Awaken, Status Attack 1, Status Crit. All we have left to gem in is Razor Sharp. Looks pretty good to me. How much affinity do we have? We have 45% affinity. That's pretty decent. Not quite all of our attacks are going to crit, but most of them. Look at that little element, 190. That's not a whole lot of element. Or element status, excuse me. I think it's interesting that... Oh, okay, so the status doesn't apply when you're looking at your equipment here. It only applies in the actual status screen. You can see we have 210 element. It is para, right? And not thunder? This is a thunder dual blade and not a para dual blade, and it'd be super sad. Okay, no, that's thunder versus para up there. I freaked out for a second because it said element instead of status. That's how they get you. All right, let me make sure I register this real fast in our work in progress spot. All right, that is a lot of decorations we still need there. Okay. I'm gonna take a second and comb through our box for all those razor jewels. See, this is where you can be thankful you're not watching a live stream, because a live stream, you'd have to watch this in real time. Because this is pre-recorded, I can speed this up for y'all. Love you, see you in a second. Let's see. 6 razor jewel 1s, 1 razor jewel 3. We've got to have some of those in here. Finally, here's one. One of 6. There's 2 of 6. Three of 6. There we go. Four of 6. Five of 6. Come on. 6 of 6. Sweet. All right, there we go. Didn't even have to go through the whole box. Didn't even have to go through the whole box to find those. That feels pretty nice. Finish putting those together. Okay, and then there's a 3 slot left in our charm, if I'm not mistaken here. Putting that Razor Jewel 3. Imagine how much extra status we could put onto this set if we threw on speed sharpen instead of razor sharp. Maybe if we do a revision of this set, we'll throw that in instead. That's cool. So here's our set. Crit I2, Awaken, status attack +1, status crit, and razor sharp. That feels pretty good, man. We have by default 521 defense. I'll probably leave that as it is for now, for our testing here. And we are going to go ahead and jump into testing. What we're going to test here is probably go out and just do an Everwood expedition and see what it feels like. Do we get lots of crits? Does it feel like those big crit combo moves are boosting our status a bunch? We shall find out here. Now, I think there's a meal skill we can eat for. Feline Specialist increases the potency of abnormal status attacks. Why don't we go ahead and do that? Seeing as the whole point is to hit some status on some monsters. Alright. Specialist and Courage. What does Courage do? Prevents flinching when discovered by a monster. I have been screwed over by that sometimes, so I don't mind it. Now let's see, what did Feline Specialist give us? We had 210. So, just to recap, we had 190 by default, because that's what 190's on this right here. Getting status attack +1 when it got us from 190 up to 210 displays element. And then eating for Specialist got us from 210 up to 240. So Specialist is even more of a boost than status attack +1. That's a pretty big deal. Alright, let's see how this goes in the field. We're going to go on a little expedition. I don't know if we'll do all 5 monsters, but we'll go ahead and do 1 or 2 and see how it feels. I think right now there is a Desert Celtis and a Diablos out here in this expedition for us to try out our new set on. 521 is on the low end of defense for G rank, but I'll keep things exciting, won't it? The goal is not to bully. The goal is to come out and test. What will a hunt feel like with these dual blades? Now, these dual blades do not have the highest raw either. 322, I think, is pretty on the low side for dual blades. I didn't actually compare tonight to see how they compare in terms of true raw against the other ones. I don't know the true raw modifier off the top of my head either or the class mod off the top of my head for dual blades either. I have no encyclopedia. Let's see how these look. How does this set look in practice? I think this set looks pretty cool. I think our goal of making an old school Monster Hunter looking set came together pretty well. It does not look super flashy or modern, that's for sure. Cool. Alright, let's find us a Desert Celtis and a Diablos. I'm surprised the Diablos isn't in this cave to start. .24 is a respectable amount of status, which will get boosted with our crits. 190 is a little low, 240 a little bit better. Hello, Poogie. Don't mind if I do, I'll grab a Cathangia. Why not? Always need more of those. Always need more of those. See ya, Poogie. Feels exciting to be trying out this set. I've thought about making a set like this for so long. It feels nice. I guess also bummers if I get super attached to this design of this set, these armor pieces specifically, it'll be kind of sad if I have to remake it with different pieces. Maybe we'll still get to use the Chameleos ones, although if we're not using status crit, we probably won't get to use as much Chameleos. I know it gives status up as well, but I don't know, maybe we will, maybe we won't. We'll see. This Everwood's being a little slow to start, ain't it? Congas have such heavy footfalls, I thought the monster was in here. But no. There's a Celtis. Hello, Celtis. Now this thing shoots para, so I would imagine it has a decent para tolerance. I don't know that for a fact or anything, that's just my thought process. Ooh, there you go. So you can see some other hits there where they crit. This feels nice. You can see some of them are applying status. So it means at least a few of those hits had the golden combo applied to them of both status, or not just a crit, but a status crit. Alright, it's already parried. Nice. Let's go ahead and do a Demon Dance here. We didn't get the crit. That's okay. Let's do another one. Didn't get the crit. It's basically a 50-50 shot. And we rolled poorly for all 3 of those 50-50 shots. So that's 1 para. Got it that time. That's 2 paras. No, it's not. That's just a flinch. Never mind. There we go. Got the crits again. Adds 2 paras. That feels pretty good, man. That feels pretty good. Pretty silly, if you ask me. Maybe these are the actual successors of Darkness Lance. One of my favorite weapons from Freeman Knight was the Freeman Knight Darkness Lance. In this game, that lance, and other games that have Darkness Lance after Freeman Knight, it's just not the same, man. Are you kidding? 3? Maybe this thing has a really weak tolerance to para. That'd be ironic. But anyways, Darkness Lance and Freeman Knight had really nice natural purple and really nice para. Maybe this is the successor to that weapon. So we're bullying this thing pretty hard, even with these things reduced raw. Granted, it is a Celtus. But that was convincing. This might be really cheesy for the Everwood, where every monster you're fighting has a new tolerance to para that you're building up. Multi-monster quests might be a pretty decent use case for this guy. That's part of why I brought it out here. I think I do want to test a couple different status sets, so we might actually make 1 or 2 sets. Maybe 3 sets. Thinking at least we're going to do this status crit set. This is about the best implementation of the status crit set I think I can get for now, aside if I wanted to make an ugly set or use Challenger 2. Oops. But I figure we'll try remaking the set just with status up and see how it feels in comparison, and then maybe try and make a balanced set that just wakes up, just has Awakening on it, and then boosts damage instead. Maybe has Challenger 2, so some of the time I guess you wouldn't be doing status crit unless you had status crit up. I don't know. We'll think about what a balanced or like, I want to boost damage and not just para, because para is not everything. Para is nice. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is we'll probably, I'm thinking maybe we'll use Gormagala as a test monster. Dang, this thing was really close to dead. All right, well, we killed that so quick. I may have to speed up a little bit of this footage here if I just have to walk around the Everwood waiting for Diablos to show up. I suppose we can take a minute and figure out if this thing had a low or a high para tolerance. Compare the two. We can look up Diablos' para tolerance. I haven't seen the stutter. There's a frame stutter in this game when a new monster spawns in the Everwood, and I haven't seen that yet. So I would imagine that Diablos is not yet on the map. Not unless he started off on the map and we missed him. I don't see him here. Alright, let's look up what these monsters are in terms of their tolerances to para. Start off with Desert Celtus. So Desert Celtus here has a 150 tolerance to para. Increases by 30 each time until you get to a max of 300. That doesn't strike me as a whole lot. 150 is pretty low. Let's see about Mr. Diablos here. How does he compare? I think the Blows are generally pretty weak to para as well. Oh, there's our Blows. He is weak. He has a 200. So his is a little bit more. Okay, so he has 200 for para. Goes up 100 each time to 700. So that's pretty substantial. This should be a little bit harder for us to para lock like we just did with that Desert Celtus. So compared to Diablos, certainly, that Desert Celtus was pretty weak to para. Let's see how we do. Ouch. Everwood theme is really pleasant. Now, unlike Monoblos, like we just fought in the last hunts, his dig and his charges are actually quite scary. I respect those pretty hard. Ouch. Ouch. Bit of an overcommitment there. Oops. Diablos is such a nice monster to encounter in this game. It takes you so long to actually get to him. You have some low-ranked Diablos parts you can trade for early on from the Wycoon in this game, but after that you gotta wait a long time, a good long time, until G rank to fight him. I don't know if you could fight him in Monster Hunter 4, the base game. I don't think you could, which I think would make it one of the only games that Diablos isn't in. I hadn't thought about that before. Alright, there's our first para. Didn't take us all that long, considering we didn't really hit him a whole lot. They do last very long. When I was remembering them being weak to para, that's basically what I meant. So when you apply it, it does take a long time for it to wear off. Alright, didn't get a crit. Another strategy we could try for this is going with crit status, maybe no status up, and just going with crit draw. Once you get your demon or your archdemon mode up, you could literally just draw into that Beyblade attack and get that crit, that increased crit every time. If you chain that on top of status up, that would probably be the easiest way to get maximum status application, is guaranteeing a whole bunch of crits like that, rolling the status over and over, just having all that boosted build up. I don't know if there's a max status you can apply in this game. Talked a little bit about the math of this at the beginning of this little mini takeaway series, but essentially status has a 1 in 3 chance to proc every time you hit a monster, and you can't really change that proc chance. It's always going to be a third. So status crits a little bit up in the air for most weapons. Most weapons where you're just hitting once, you have a 1/3 chance to deal status, and you have however much affinity you have to crit. In order for status crit to do anything at all, in order for anything to come of that armor skill, you have to both roll a status proc and a crit. The reason why Dual Blades is interesting is it has this, where when you're doing that whole combo, that whole demon dance, holy crap! It's a bummer he's already parried, because that was just a ton of para we were putting out onto him there. Every time you crit there, it's not like it guarantees status to go off, but anytime you deal status during that crit, it's going to deal some boosted status. Boosted status that's equivalent to the boost you get from status up 2, or almost. So that's why this is interesting to me. Another thing of note is that status is not boosted by sharpness mod in this game. Alright, we've gotten two para procs now, if I'm remembering correctly. It's pretty good. So Dual Blades is unique with status crit in that it has those long sequences of multi-hits where you have more and more chances to deal those status hits while also critting. Some guaranteed crits. Anything that can guarantee crits is going to be in good shape with status crit, clearly. So stuff like Crit Draw Greatsword in this. I even saw someone in chat last week recommending a status crit draw setup for Dual Blades. So that once you get that Archdemon up, you just spam your draw attack over and over. Let's be careful not to cart here if we can. Oh, that wasn't safe. Woof, we're dead. This is where normally, if I was on stream, I'd give some beans to folks in chat. We have a little stream currency, but we're not on stream, so I don't have to give you all beans. This is pretty fun so far. Like I said earlier, status isn't everything, para isn't everything, but it's neat to put these Dual Blades to good use. You don't have the highest raw, but if you can lock a monster down like this, it seems like we're doing pretty well for ourselves. There was a stutter just now in the frame rate, which means that I think another monster just spawned in the Everwood somewhere. Do we have a paintball on Diablos? We do. He's a couple areas deep right now. I can see on the map. Yeah, I've never done this style of YouTube before. You sit down and you do a big recording session and you splice it up and you release it over a couple days. It feels very weird to me because I've watched people who do that style of YouTube, but I've just never done it for myself. It's something new. Nice whiff. At least they crit. There we go, that's our third para. Yep. It's nice that mechanic with the combo crits is still alive and well in 4 Ultimate. And it's not just true of the bigger attacks, it's not just true of Demon Dance or the Beyblade attack or anything, it's true of all of Duel's multi-hits. That's pretty quick. I don't think it tells me how long I've been on the quest or anything because it's an expedition, but not too bad for a Diablos there. These Velocipair are going to get in the way. Let's say that went pretty well. We got, what, 4 Paraprocs there? So if that was an initial para tolerance of 200, and each time we parried him, we got an additional 100 tacked onto that. That means by that final Paraproc, let's see, it had already been 200, then 300, then 400. It was either 400 or 500 para we had to deal to him there in order to paralyze him there. So I would say, I mean, that's a lot. That's close to his max. His max was going to be 700. Once you got up to 700 para, that was going to be the maximum proc you could get on him. So that's pretty close. That's pretty good in terms of how frequently we were paralyzing him there. So I would say this is pretty potent. There probably aren't a lot of setups where you can deal this much para damage this quickly, outside of, like, relics. Now, I think I meant to say this a couple bits of the recording ago here, but this is clearly not how you would build this if you were in the end game. If you were in the end game, you'd have a relic and you'd get fancier armor and stuff for this, but we're where we are in G rank. We're sort of at the beginning of G special, just starting to take on some of the Apex monsters. So we're working with what we got, and I'd say what we got is decently potent, judging by how much we've applied para to the monsters we've fought so far. All right, I'm pretty happy. I think we'll just stick out here in the Everworld. We'll try and fight all 5 monsters. That's something I enjoyed doing. Haven't done that yet tonight. It'll be a decent test to see across a couple different monsters here what we can do. I'm actually going to really quickly pause the game. I know that's kind of sacrilege. And we're just going to go ahead and jump into Firefox. I want to see what Berserk Tattoo Cabra's para tolerances are so we can see what we're doing here in this fight. Kind of understand how our set's working. All right, Berserk Tattoo Cabra has a 200 resistance to para. So the same as Diablos. It increases by 75 each time to a maximum of 500. So that's not too bad. It's not as much of a maximum as Diablos, and it doesn't increase by as much each time. But it won't be too dissimilar in terms of how often we're paralyzing him. So, I mean, if that's anything to go off, we should expect to get 3 or 4 paras here before he dies. Now, this monster's a little spooky. He's pretty aggressive. I think he's the first monster to triple cart me from G rank, or he was like the first monster that really roughed me up once we got to G rank here. He's a lot of big, fast-moving, aggressive attacks close to his body. Likes to pull up those rocks on top of you. I feel like it's almost going to be fighting one status against another. He's got Blast status on his side, I've got Para on mine. Whose status shall be stronger? That move there is one of the scarier ones, the big sumo stomp. I'm still not totally used to how you can get out of the way of that in G rank. Whoop. That's what I'm talking about. Those moves are spooky. Cheap. And okay, I did not need a Superman dive there, but I was trying to be a little bit safe at least. He usually jumps a couple times here. Oh boy. All right. He usually charges right after that, which is rough. Ugh. See what I mean about him being aggressive? This monster's scary, man. I like him. The first weapon I fought him with in G rank was Gunlance, and he just walked all over us. That was rough. Okay, cool. Thank you for the moment of peace, Tattoo Cabra. So far, his status is proving a little more potent, but not from the blasts. Just from him being a mean dude. There we go. iframe through that. Uh-oh. We're good. There we go. There's our first para proc. I was gonna say it's gotta be soon. That's some decent damage there. Uh-oh. Could've been worse. Especially with these nice first aid med pluses they give us. I think I'm having a much harder time with him than with Diablos. It's kind of funny. I want those leg breaks is what I want right now. Big tremors. They have the same noises from Free Midnight. The sound effects from these insect waves, gosh darn it, dual blades. The sound effects from these dual blades are really cool. Their long natural white plus this razor sharp means that we essentially will never have to sharpen as long as we're not bouncing on things. The purple is nice to have for the raw damage of it, but it doesn't boost our status at all. There's our second status proc. There's a leg break, so we would have gotten the flinch from that shortly after. It's a bummer. I won't attack the legs anymore here. Oh. Here's him being aggressive. Oh gosh. Oh, I got zoned. I didn't mean to, but you know what? We take those. Oh. If he's gonna be aggressive enough to push us outside the area, well, we're gonna heal. That's how that goes in G rank. Maybe any rank. Yeah, I like this set. Oh, that feels bad. Missing that. And not having the evasion to try and roll the roar, or the stamina to try and roll the tremor. Words are hard. Give me that leg trip, come on. Nope. Something else just spawned in this Everwood. I think it's here. It is a Nursilla. Shrouded Nursilla, I think. Oh man. Okay, yeah. This is potent. This is really potent. This is more status than you. I mean, like, I know that any sort of status dual blades are going to be in good shape because they're dual blades. But I still feel like this is more status procs than you would see in an average hunt. And really quickly, too. Ooh, nice, got out of the way. I guess if we get one more, let's try and break his tusks. How about? Crit draw, crit status, bow. Although, with bow, you're always applying status. That's something kind of interesting about this. When I was doing the reading about critical status, different weapons have different modifiers for how much it gets boosted when you actually do a crit. Could have been bad. How much it gets boosted when you do a crit is different across different weapon classes. Oh no! Nice job, Tetsu. I like how this thing's way more damaging to me than Diablos is. It's funny. So most weapons get a 1.2 modifier, so it's the same as a status up 2, basically, every time you crit and deal status on the same hit. bow gets a 1.5 and greatsword gets a 1.15. I bet greatsword gets a 1.15 specifically because of crit draw. If I had to guess, they know people are going to be using that definite crit skill there, and they're like, we don't need this quite as strong as the others. Also, I bet some of the status values on greatsword are a little higher than some of the other weapons, just because they are such slow hitting weapons. That's probably what I would think about. That is why greatsword has a lower modification there than most other weapons do. Oh well. I'm not too upset about Carton there. It happens. The bummer is walking back through the whole Everwood to get back to the hunt you were just on. That's the bummer part. It does strike me as a lot of paras, though. I forget if they're actual Najarala dual blades, but if there are, I bet they're great for this. I don't think there are. All the way back through the Everwood. So it goes. I'm quite happy with this set, though. If it didn't look as good, I'd probably be just okay with it, but the fact that I feel like this set kind of suits the look of these dual blades, and it's dealing such good para damage, can't really fault it. Alright, let's go ahead and preemptively paintball that Nursilla. It is not a shrouded Nursilla. Like I said initially, that is just a Nursilla. Is he asleep? Nope, he's just chilling. He is limping, though. Hi, buddy. Missed the roar that time. Tetsu's roar is one of the few I feel a little bit confident on. Feels good. Did not get that tremor. That tremor comes so late. So late. It's hard to escape out to the other side of that big sumo stomp. I want to try and break the tusks, so I'm trying to get one more para. I'm trying to attack the tusks a little more if I can. There we go. Okay. We'll walk over here with our demon mode still active, and we're going to do a demon dance. Dang. So that was, I think, 3 or 4 paras on him, too. We're dealing some para damage. I guess I should stop being surprised. These monsters all are going to have their own separate tolerances. I wonder if they have reduced tolerances in the Everwood. Like I said, we'll have to experiment with a Gore Magala or another full monster quest to see how we feel about it. Alright, let's go back and hunt that Nursilla. Let's see, so far we've hunted Desert Celtis, Diablos, this guy, and now Nursilla. Nursilla just came back here. Wow, just immediate. Alright, well in that case, let's go ahead, let's break this arm up here. Now, I'm pretty sure that status does not stack in this game, so while they're para, it's not like we're dealing even more para. Even still. There's 2 paras. We'll go for the rear this time. That and between that and the Endless Light, this is a super comfy set, I feel. I'll have to see how the damage would hold up to full G rank hunts, like some G special hunts. I don't know how well this would hold up. These duels are pretty low raw. think regular G Ursula has that move where it kind of walks towards you with the pincers out. I haven't seen it do that yet. That wasn't it either. Now, this is deadly poison, so we gotta be careful here. Oof! Cards in Ursula, too. Cards all over the place. It makes sense. Bit lower defense. Haven't played in a few days. Those are my Johns. We get to walk all the way through the Everwood again, though. That's a joy. I do think we might be out of max potions now, unless the game gave us some and I didn't notice. Nope. Alright, then we're on our own. We're gonna hunt this, do the rest of this hunt here. With just 100 health instead of 150. We should be okay. It'd be kind of neat if the Everwood had one final tier of difficulty where frenzied monsters could show up. I'd be into that. I guess that's kind of guild quests, isn't it? Those are those quests where the monsters slowly become frenzied and then apex as the levels get higher and higher. I guess there's so much of that there, you probably don't need it here in the Everwood too. Yeah, makes sense. Back we go through the Everwood. Back we go. No! At least we get to see the goofy animation of Ursula just levitating. Oh well, it didn't go far. Just one area back. Did not go far. Poof. We paintball it. Ah, it got me. Ooh, that's a terrifying combo. No! Okay, there it is. Shoot, I forgot I could do that. I was so confident it was going to do the one where I could roll through it instead. Well, overconfident there. I hate mashing out of stuns or other binds like that. It feels like I'm breaking my joystick on my console every time. I really don't like it. Ooh, we got the canopy here to contend with. I didn't look at Ursula's para tolerance, did I? We'll take a look after the hunt's over, just so we know what we were doing. She's been parried once or twice, but I feel like hers might be a little higher than the other two we've been fighting. It doesn't seem like she gets parried very often. I guess that would make sense with the skin still on. Seeing as Gypsyros would probably be resistant to para as well. There's the para. Okay, let's try and break that arm up front again. We didn't already. Okay, we already did. Never mind. We're good. Oh, and she's gone. I bet she's weak. Where'd she go off to? She's back to the final area here. And there's a normal Tetsukabra here to end the night. I imagine he will be not as much of a problem as Berserk posed. I will not even actually dung bomb him away from this area. Oh man, maybe I should. The roar stun might be severe enough. Oh, she got me. Oof! Man, didn't take long for them to tag team me. That feels really bad having to walk through the Everwood this many times, but Such is life. It happens. Especially if you're trying to get all 5 monsters. She is weak. I heard her limping there. And if we're lucky, the game will give us a max potion back here at the base. Let's see. Are we lucky? No. We are not. Again, that's okay. I guess because this is the magic of editing, I could even speed this up like we did for the decorations earlier. How do we do that? If I don't do it now, it's going to be really awkward, but... If I don't, there you go, I won't. It'll just be awkward, me saying, oh yeah, let's fast forward. And we don't actually fast forward. Yep, that would be pretty silly. I do think the video settings that I've got on right now are taxing the computer ever so slightly more than usual when I'm streaming, but that's okay. There's less other stuff going on. We're not loading chat. I think I'm doing a little less in the web browser. But not by that much. Temps are a little higher. Makes sense. Alright, now will I dung bomb the Tetsukabra? I don't really want to. I wouldn't mind dealing with the 2 of them in the same area, but I mean, carting again would feel really bad. If she's asleep, we're just going to blow her the heck up. So we don't have to multitask the monsters as much. She is indeed asleep. Alright, Tetsu. You're not going to ruin our sleep bombing, are you? Oh. He didn't have to. Did she leave again? Oh my god. They're still, See you in a moment, Tetsukabra. Mr. Solo has been slippery. Like a spider indeed would be. She's gonna attack here in a second. I thought she was going to. Oh, this is the fake for the attack. Yep. I saw it coming, I still got hit by it. Ooh, let's not die again. The deadly poison wears off really quick. It's just pretty deadly. I'm wary of her doing that charge now. Oh gosh. Be right back. A little bit risky here, but I think she's, yeah, close. Alright. I'm curious about her poison tolerance, or her paratolerance, rather. Because did not feel like we were paralyzing her that much. We did a few times. It was still 2 or 3 times there, but either we were playing really bad or she's got pretty high paratolerance. Her paratolerance is 110 and then goes up to 130. Or it goes up by 130 to 500. So I guess it increases really quickly after that first para, more than most, more than Diablos did. But even still, I think we just weren't fighting her very well. That's okay. I guess let's look up what regular Tetsukabra's is before we go and hunt him. I would imagine his is quite meager compared to the others. Seeing as he is a kind of early game monster. Paratolerance of 200 goes up by 75. Okay, it's identical to Berserk's. Okay. It's kind of neat. I very rarely have run status weapons in general, so I've not really had the chance to sit here and do hunts while looking at the paratolerances in Karanako and going, huh, okay, that's what was going on there. I don't mind it, though. It's good fun. Alright, let's go ahead and let's finish off this expedition here. With a Tetsu. Didn't quite get the roar. Alright, well, if that still is any indication, we should paintball this guy. That guaranteed G-rank combo from Tetsukabra where he jumps and then charges. This guy, I'm going to try and break his tusks for sure. We're going to get those paras. I would not mind breaking some harder to break parts out of them. That's what para is useful for a lot of the time. The monster's holding still, I can hit things that would normally be a little bit too dangerous to. I would expect, yeah, a para here shortly. There's one tusk break, not too bad. Didn't quite get through the tremor there. Oh man, that G rank damage, man. It's something. Charge. One jump. Alright, that's the finisher. That little charge where he keeps his tusks closer to the ground always ends that particular combo. He's just throwing things now. Let's go for some of those leg breaks if we can. I don't want to fight him so close to the wall there. Oof. Overcommitment. I was betting on either a break or a... on a break or a para. I shouldn't have been. Very spooky at there. I do not want to walk through this whole Everwood again. I'm sick of it. That happens pretty often to me with Everwoods. We don't always cart quite this much, but I often get sick of walking around whatever element we've been whatever Everwood we've been given by the end of an expedition. Get pretty sick of it. And I believe partway through that trip we could have gotten a status or a paraproc as well. Dead. Gosh darn it. Really didn't want to do that again. Such is life. And being bad at Monster Hunter. You cannot win them all. At least we got an easy max though. I'll take it. Probably won't be using this easy barrel bomb. But we'll be using that easy max. Peeved at this Tetsukabra for carting us. The nerve. The gall of this Tetsukabra. It's getting a little late my time. A little past midnight. I think after this hunt, I'll probably end this part of the recording here. We've been going for about an hour of just Everwood, which is fun. I like being out in the Everwood for an hour. Just an hour of solid hunting feels grand. Probably do one more little bit to this recording of this particular takeaway with Ristretto session. And we'll hunt a Gormagala in G-Rank Hub and see how that feels with this set. And I'll come back in a day or two and we'll do some more. Keep going on this little dual blades with status excursion and see what we can make here. Try and get used to exactly how many procs we generally get in on Mr. Gore per hunt and then see how that changes with status up 2 instead of status crit. If it feels more consistent or the same, if it feels easier to set build around or worse. Okay. Hey, jerk. There we go. There's the other tusk break. And there's the para. Feels good. Screw you, buddy. Oops. Wow, look how far that tremor reaches. It's really something. Nice. Woo! Shoot, he's so fast with that. That second jump caught me a little bit off guard. I probably could have rolled out of the way of it, but I didn't trust myself to. Should have healed. If I die again, I'm a bozo. I did not. At least not yet. That little baby rock. It's cute. You can tell I'm feeling a little scared now. I do not want a card again. No crit there. Oh, doesn't matter. Still quite a few paraprocs here. One could even argue they've carried us through some of these fights. There we go. Alright, that's all 5 monsters. Feels good, man. Vicious visage. Where's that viscous visage? I didn't see. Definitely vicious, not viscous. I don't know, he throws out those like little boogery looking projectiles. One could almost think that it was a viscous visage. Alright. Hey, it's our favorite friends, Big Aptonoth. Let's wave to them on our way out of this expedition. Hey, Big Aptonoth. And away we go. And that was that. Alright, well that was a nice hour of testing out this set. Seeing how it felt on a couple different different para tolerances across a couple different monsters. For the most part, when I was playing okay, it just felt like the paras came no matter what. Which I guess just means we were dealing quite a bit of para, which is the goal. Here are our lackluster expedition rewards, but that's okay. Like I said, I think that's going to be it for this particular segment of MH4U Take-Away with Ristretto. I hope you enjoyed this little expedition we went on. I love doing these expeditions. Hey, Rajang Guild Quest. And another Camelios. And there's an Ogre and Yan Kutku. Cool. I'll see you guys in just a little bit for that gore testing here. I hope you guys have a good one. Happy hunting and cheers.